My name is Larry Shipe, and this is my wife, Tia. We have 5 kids, ranging from the age of soon to be 15 all the way down to 6.
Yeah.
6 years old. 2009, I got arrested like the second week in 2009, so I got arrested in January, and I had a robbery charge. Anyway, make a long story short, we opened up the doors to police, and they're like, hey, we just want to ask you some questions. And at that moment when I left, I never came back. I didn't come back home till like almost 5 years later.
Yeah, it's been a year today he's been home.
Yeah, today,
Yeah.
It's been a year.
Exactly a year.
Yeah.
It was devastating to see him gone. He said they were just going for questioning, and he, like, with him never coming back, we went from a 2-parent home to like a 1-parent home, and we have a son that's disabled, so like I wasn't able to work. We lost our house, the car, like I had to move back in my mom. It was devastating, and the kids, they didn't know what was going on. They were like, where's our dad? And I'm like, I didn't know how to explain it to them. Like, you don't know what to tell them. Like, he's just gone, and they didn't understand. And it was just me, and being without a dad for them was like, it wasn't right.
So when I got locked up, there was nobody there to provide for him. So when I go to jail, I'm still trying to move along and do things that I'm used to doing, like trying to discipline over the phone and at the same time comforting, console, but it's just not the same, you know. Chief Garza, he come to me, he's like, so you trying to get in the God pod? I'm like, what? The who? The God pod? He was like, yeah, that's what we call it. The Exodus Project. And I was like, Exodus? I was like, oh, okay, God pod, okay, yeah, I like the way it sounds.
I feel like he actually loves me more and loves me better since he's got Jesus in his life, since he found God. He's a better husband and a better father, I believe, through the Focus program. I thank God for the Focus program. Like, I do. It's truly a heaven-sent program.
I felt like I was more at home with Christ in jail than when I didn't have Christ at home. And I'm thinking, I'm in the Exodus Project, you know what I'm saying? And if you read the Bible, you know what the Exodus was. This is, and after this, I go home. You know what I'm saying? So it was real, so I'm laughing like, God, you knew all along.
I was just like so happy to have him home and have somebody to talk to and like just be there, because it's hard being I feel like I was trying to be the mom and the dad. I'm like, I can't do this. I'm not stern enough. I'm I'm the soft parent, and he's the more like, oh, do this. And I'm like, oh, it was just a balance. I felt like it was a balance. It was a good balance, and I could see the change that was in him since he became a Christian, and like the children seen it in him too. They're like, Dad's not the same anymore. He's like changed, and I'm like, it's a good change. They're like, yeah. And so we go to church as a family and everything, and it's just, I'm just ecstatic. Like, I'm so happy that he's home. I think the kids are too. They don't like the discipline too much, but what kids do. But it's wonderful to have him home.
I'm Al Morgan. This is Amanda, Trinity, Harmony, and Torrin. 10 years ago, I was a really bad person. I really was. I sold drugs. I was more worried about myself than I was about her or my family, and God's really done a work in my life. While I was in prison, I took 2 of the classes, Inside Out Dads and Authentic Manhood. It really showed me a lot about really how to just be a man first, but how to be a father from, not just necessarily in prison, but how to be a father from inside, by knowing the Father. Now I'm actually at the Focus House, part of the program. It's great. I still struggle, but they help me get a job, got a place to stay, and get things set up to where once I do leave, I'll be stable, and then I can support my family a lot better. And being with them and being able to talk to them and see them as much as I have has really helped me adjust to being out. And we got married March 22nd. And this time, not take for granted that they're there, because I did that and I lost out on a lot. I I lost 10 years of her life.
I'm looking forward to having Christmas and Thanksgiving with him because we never had that with all the girls.
All right, my name's Aaron Schutz, Senior. This is Aaron Jr., and this is Ashley Schutz. I went to prison because I was being very foolish, selling drugs and getting drunk and breaking cars and stuff like that and just being obscene. And I went in there for 2 years and I just got out a week ago. It was like taking my whole life away from me, you know what I mean? Because I was fixing to have a baby and I'm not going to get to see him born. All I'm seeing is pictures and all types of stuff. And then Jeff Hunter teaching that class on how to be a good couple, you know what I mean? The class, that was amazing because I did not at all know how to be a husband of any type. If God hadn't been with me the whole time, there's no telling where my family could be right now, you know what I mean? So it was really a blessing to go through that and then go to prison. It kept my head on right, I can say that.
My name is David Seneca, and this is my lovely wife, Alicia Seneca. We've been together for nearly 11 years, married for going on 5. We lived basically in a drug-soaked coma. We had separated ourselves so far from our families and from everybody that loved us that we had, the way I explain it is that we got just far enough away to kill ourselves. So when we got in trouble, I made the decision that I'd been a bad everything in my life. I was a bad father to 2 kids. I was a bad son to 2 moms. I was a bad brother and definitely a bad husband and boyfriend. And I tell everybody that I know that my relationship with Jesus Christ started with my relationship with Alicia because God put somebody in my life that I could love more than myself. I read some literature on my way into prison that said 85% of marriages never make it out of prison. And I was determined that I was going to be in the upper 15%.
It was hard. God pulled me through it. I'd never been away from him since I'd been with him. I'd not been by myself until then. So I grew up a lot while he was in there.
Without focus, I don't think I was ready to go home. Focus really gave me the chance to readjust to the world, for us to readjust to one another, and for us to both really start walking out what God was doing in our lives. And it gave us a safe and healthy environment to do that in. And the first time I ever worshiped with my wife was at a Living Free service. And it was like I was in tears the whole night. It was the first time I'd ever worshiped God with my wife, and it was amazing. And so focus for me is family. It's family. It's like family that I never had, you know. I think that without focus, I don't think that our marriage would be where it is right now. Focus as a program put me in touch with the right people. That again, another act of God. It's nothing short of an act of God that I'm working where I'm at and that I'm allowed to do the things that I do. And if you want to know God's got a sense of humor, he took a 20-year drug addict, now I do drug tests for a living. And that's it.
I'm still trying to get used to him being back and him getting used to being back home, but I'm glad he's home. And godly the way he is.
I think I'm really home. Because even when I was home before, I was never there. You know, I'm 36 years old and I'm starting life, but I've got the chance to buy a house. I've got my license for the first time in 12 years. We're living for the first time. We're free and we're actually enjoying life, and more than that, we enjoy each other and enjoy Jesus in our life. You know, without Jesus, none of this is possible. Without Jesus, I tell those guys every week in recovery that without Christ in my life, I'd be dead. To know Christ the way that I know him now, even the bad things that I've done work together for the good to those who are the called. I am the called, and he's allowed me to use those bad things to help other men that are in the same positions that I was in. You know, it's amazing how they take truth from somebody that's been there.
So you can rise above.